Excellent. Okay, cool. You know, listen to your body. You know. All right, here we go. Party. All right. Wait. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Welcome. No, I'm happy you're here, Nancy. On Wednesday, we missed you. Yeah, it was way too quiet. How is everybody today? Great. Welcome to Pilates Sculpt, where we take a lot of the concepts of Pilates and fuse it with full body functional integrated movement. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Audra. And today we're going to be using a couple of props, some weights, and a ball. If you're at home and you don't have a ball, no problem. You can fold a pillow in half. If you don't have weights, you know, you could use a couple bottles of wine, some water gallon jugs, just squeeze your own beautiful muscles, whatever you got, it's fine. As always, don't do anything that doesn't feel right. Always, always, always listen to your body. Feel free to take breaks. We're gonna start standing. So go ahead and just give yourself a little check-in, right? We're gonna kind of shift our weight forward and back a couple of times and see where it naturally wants to fall. If it's all in the heels or all in the toes, see if you can kind of create a little bit more space through the front and the back, and then notice where your knees are, right? Are they bent? Are they hyperextended behind you? Or are they just gently sitting over your ankle? And then same with the hips, check them out. Are they pointed down? Are they pointed up or straight ahead? And see where your rib cage, shoulders, and face are kind of falling. And on your exhale, all we're gonna do is think about muscularly drawing our low abs towards our spine. So maybe you have a hand on your back in the front, maybe you don't need one. And then relax on your inhale. And then exhale, draw it in, yeah. Now imagine that I have like a little rubber band and I'm just threatening to like pop you in the stomach with the rubber band, right? But it's a tiny one. It's not one that's scary. We don't need to like really collapse back. It's just a little engagement, good. And then just notice if your back is moving, right? So if you're tucking, see if you can maintain neutral. Last one, small little exhale, small little engagement. Good. And nod your chin. We're going to hollow out, rolling all the way down into your little forward fold. And just notice where you are, right? Maybe your weight is on your toes. Maybe it's shifted back in your heels. We're going to shift forward and back just a couple of times. And then you can take your hands to one side. Get a little bit of stretch potentially through your calf or your hamstring or your low back. And then the other side. Come back to center, let your head and shoulders dangle for a second, and then we get to come onto hands and knees. So exact same thing we just did, standing. We're just going to exhale, draw our belly button up towards our spine. And see if you had to move your spine. And then as you inhale, I want you to try to expand into your back. And then exhale from the front. Good. Tiny little lift of the pelvic floor. We're not needing to tuck, right? Our thighs should be suction cupped in the socket, hips nice and soft. Two more. Good. Last one like this. Pushing the floor away, you can start with little kitty cat paws. So you push and exhale, lift. Good. Now, if you have one side that's like, yeah, I got this, and one side that's like, wait, what am I doing? Use your breath more. Right? You can always widen your knees or bring your hands closer together, right? Good. Pressing the sky. Beautiful. Two more. Now, maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you think about your shoulder blade rotating and your arm reaches forward. So it's less about really getting that arm up high and more about tucking your shoulder blade under and opening your armpit, right? So maybe you only lift your arm an inch. Maybe it stays on the ground, right? Good. Couple more. Trying to allow the shoulder blade to just kind of tilt. 2. Last one. Both hands on the ground. You can be on your fists or your forearms. Slide one foot out. Push the foot so far away from you that maybe it starts to hover. If your ribs pop down or your back starts talking, push the floor away a little bit more. It's okay to have that foot a little bit lower. And then bring it in, other side. Once again, maybe it hovers, maybe it doesn't. Back and forth just a couple of times. Think about reaching your foot away from you rather than up towards the sky, right? One more, and then we get to add on. Everybody excited? I thought so. Now, try pushing your hand and foot away from each other and hold. And just see where you feel the work. Hopefully, it's a little bit of core, a little bit of glute, and then other side, right? Good. And hold. Now, if you think of like a tension rod, like a shower curtain rod, right? You can't have pressure at one wall and the other wall and let the shower curtain rod collapse in the center, or it's not going to hold your shower curtain. We want to push that tension all the way through, upper and lower. That core is transmitting our force, right? Yeah. Now, hold this one. You can either keep going with what you were doing, or we switch hands. And then you switch legs. And you hold. And then you switch hands. That hand switch is real exciting, right? And then switch legs. So maybe if you're like, okay, I got this, and I have to switch hands, tap your toe down, right? That's fine. On one side, I'm like, yeah, I got this. On the other, it's like, what? You know, so don't worry if you have a stable side and an exciting side, right? And maybe that toe taps down. Good. We have just a couple more. Good. Still reaching out far. You guys look amazing, by the way. Nobody's fallen. I'm so proud of all of you. And we get to come back to center. Now, if you need a break, take one. Otherwise, we slide one foot out, other foot comes to meet it in a plank. Now, if you need to be in a knee plank, no problem. And in fact, knee planks can be really effective. We just don't want to sink down, right? You're still pushing the floor away, lifting your ribs, tucking your tailbone slightly. Good. So imagine you're billowing. Hey, Lindsay, push the floor away, lift your ribs and hips a little bit more. Yeah, but with a little baby tailbone tuck. Boop. Good. Like you got a hot candle lifting you up, 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 up. Good. Yeah, nice job, everybody. And then you can bend one knee underneath you, reach it back. Other side. Or Monica, you can stay where you are or roll. Yeah. But you got to lift your hips up and look at your knees. Yeah, there you go. Couple more. If you're on your knees and you're like, I want to do this, you can tap it out, right? 2 more. Still pushing the floor away, still lifting your hip bones. Last one, knees down. Press yourselves into your rest position. That wasn't so bad, was it, you guys? Not yet. Hands up and over to one side, pressing your hips away, and then other side. We get to come back into a plank. Now, if you're like, I want to be on my forearms, great. I'm going to take this opportunity to be on my forearms. So push the floor away, still lifting your ribs, and then you can tap one foot out to the side, right? Whether you're on your knees or your feet, you can still tap it out, great? Good, trying to access that glute a little bit, right? Keeping the ears lengthening. Good. Belly button pulling up. Ah. Trying not to let the hips rotate if possible, right? Almost there. Anybody not warming up yet? Cool. Last one. And hold. Bend one knee underneath you. It can come to the ground. Now this time, we're going to push the ground away, lift your ribs around your back. The knee will start to come with you, and then it comes back down. Okay, so we lift and round. 2 cups of coffee this morning. Couple more. So you can keep your toe tapping down, or you can lift it up. Hey, Nancy. Yes. Here, look at me. Yeah. 2 more. Last one. And then switch sides. Get ready, get set, push the floor away. And tap it back down. Maybe the toes tap. Good, few more. Rounding your back, good. Nice job, you guys. Use your breath here if you can. Exhale. It'll help you find your abs. If you're like, I need to be done with those, you can always round your back, pull the knee in towards your face. No problem. Otherwise, we have 3. 2 more. Last one. Both knees down, press yourselves into your rest position. Yeah, roll out those wrists. Okay, it's going to be everybody's favorite, side planks. You can do them on your knees, 1 knee, 1 foot, both feet. Let's just talk about it real quickly. That top hand, if it's back, it's going to be trying to rotate you. So think about the hand coming up towards the sky or being on your hip. So you can be on your hand or your forearm. I'm going to be on my forearm. Let's start on our knees, friends. Starting on our knees, friends. You can still be on your hand though. So imagine we're going to come into slumber party shoulder, like, hey, who do you think is cute? And then we're going to push the floor away, lifting our ribs, right? And then keep that push down into the ground, making a rainbow shape with our body. Now, maybe this is where you are. No problem. Maybe you extend a leg out, drive it down with that inner thigh. Maybe you extend the other leg out and you're in your full plank. Maybe then reach your hand to the sky. Imagine it pulling you up. Yeah. Couple more breaths, and then we get to go to the other side. So we're slowly coming down and then going to the other side. Same thing. So if you're on your knee, and then we're coming down to reset, right? So bring your knees down. Come into slumber party shoulder, and then never again. We push it away. We lift it up. We press our knees into the ground. So we're in that rainbow shape. Then we get to extend one or both legs. Bring it up. Now we slowly come back down to center and then back to the first side. Good. Good. Kiana, if you use your bottom glute, it'll help you. And keep your top foot forward a little. Yeah. And then other side. Yeah. And so then when you rotate, if you keep your ankles strong, yeah, they're already coming with you. Good. Yeah. Back and forth. One more time. How's everybody feeling? Good. Last one. Good. Coming back to center, knees down. Press yourselves into that rest position. Awesome. We're done with planks for now. You're welcome. Hands up and over to one side. And then the other side. And we get to come to standing. So go ahead, come into your forward fold, and then roll all the way up. All right, so first bring your feet together. The closer your feet are, the easier it's going to be. The wider they are, it's going to be much, much harder. So think about squeezing your feet together or your inner thighs together like you're trying to pop a balloon. And then engage your glutes, pushing the floor away, float one foot up. Yeah, now first we just hold. And I want you to think of your toes spreading wide. Good. And Ray, just so you know, that's great to use the mat. If your foot starts to cramp, come onto the floor just because the squishy mat's a lot, okay? Good. Now, all we're gonna do, brush the knee out to the side, hold, and bring it back. Now, as we do this, we're trying to stabilize on this side, right? So a lot of times our body's like, okay, I got this, or it tries to get out of muscle recruitment, right? So if you need to, hold on to something, or tap that toe down. Good. Just a couple more. Yeah, Monica, one fingertip. Yeah, wherever. Like you can touch the mirror, you can high five yourself, be like, I'm amazing. Good. 2 more. Hold this last one out. Extend the foot. Yeah, beautiful. Flex the foot, allow it to come in, brush it out and hold. Now, if you're feeling the front pocket of your hip rather than the back pocket, imagine a tiny external rotation through your upper thigh bone. Can relax your foot. Think about pushing it away rather than up, right? It's like you are paintbrushing. Yeah. Everyone's starting to feel those hips a little? Good. And Lindsay, as the foot comes out, see if you can push more into that stable foot. Yeah. And then the crown of your head will be, yeah, beautiful. I know it's harder. I know it's harder. I'm asking a lot. It's okay. Yeah. Last one, hold. Now hip hinge forward and drag it back. How's that stable leg? Starting to talk, little baby bit. Yeah. Yeah. Try to squeeze the cheek. Yeah. Good. We have 5. Dragging it back as if you're dragging it through wet sand. Good. Joni, your right hip bone's going to point towards me a little. Yep. Good. 2. There it is. Feel that glute more? Yeah. Last one. Hold it back. Yeah. And just hold. Tiny little squeezes back for 5. Making sure it's from the glute. Low back is quiet. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that foot with you. Nice. Now, we have options. If you need more support, the leg that was just out to the side can be forward, but it's not the leg of focus. If you need less support, it can be behind you. This is the leg of focus. Bend your knee. Standing leg is the one we're focusing on. So think about, instead of shoving your hips forward, we're going to think about bringing our hips directly over our foot, but notice how my knee is bent. We're trying to come into gentle hip extension without knee extension, okay? And then we're hip hinging. So small hip hinge, hold it down. Make sure you're not feeling this so much in your back. Keep the knee bent, hips sliding back. Push into the ground, hip hinge back up. Good, keeping the knee bent. So there's a very specific reason I want that knee to stay bent. 3 guesses as to why. Yes. Walking. So when we walk, one of the things we should be allowing our body to do is coming into hip extension with a bent knee and still accessing that glute. So we're just finding this in a slightly different way, right? Couple more. We're unwinding the hip bones around the thigh bone, holding it eccentrically, pushing into the ground. Yeah. How's that glute feeling? Great. Everybody feeling it a little bit? Yeah? Okay. 2 more. Don't worry, you'll feel it more later. Last one. Hold it down. Sliding your hips back and down slightly. Now the foot that you're ignoring, slide it out. and bring it back in. Now, you can always press your hands together, wiggle your fingers, have your hands on your hip bones, whatever feels appropriate for you. Good. Now, that foot that's extending, we can either just kind of move it through space, or we can get a little texture through it, right? Imagine that you're kind of dragging your foot through wet sand. Good. How's your stabilizing leg doing now? Amazing? Great. Filling your back line with breath as much as you can. We have 5 and 4. 3 more. 2. Now you can either keep your leg extended or tap it down. I'll show both. We're going to reach down as if we're picking something up and then coming all the way back up, right? Yeah. If you're like, okay, I want to do this single leg, keep your foot kind of low so you can tap it down very quickly if you need to, right? So here, for example, I feel my glute a lot because I have the support, right? Yeah, same. So if I lift my foot, I feel my foot and knee trying to move because like the proprioceptors in my feet aren't as stable, right? So if you try lifting the foot and you're like, oh my gosh, that's really hard, I can't quite do it, tap your toe down. That's okay, let your nervous system feel safe. 2 more. Good. That glute still doing okay? I'll take your silence as a yeah, it feels amazing. Good. Now come all the way up. We have 1 more move. Slide the foot down. We're going to ignore the back leg, okay? We're going to drag yourself down. It's more of a split squat than a big old lunge. Push into that front foot. And then you have options. You can either stay here, which is great, or you can come into a balanced position. Okay? Good. And Riri, if you bring your knee out a little bit, yeah, that should take some pressure off of it. Good. Yeah, couple more. What's barking? Good. Couple more here. Well, we didn't have enough green mini bands, so I figured 2. Last 1. Lisa, relax your face. Yeah. We get to hold and bring it all the way up. Nice. Other side. So if you need to do a little figure 4 stretch or smack that hip out, it's fine. Got a little tuck and release if you're doing that. All right. Feet together, inner thigh squeeze. Drive that foot down. And then see if we can just float the foot without the body trying to get out of the work. So for example, on this side, my glute is like, I don't want to. My back is like, I'm gonna help. And so I find myself kind of kicking out, my hip rotating down. And I feel it here, right? So if you're like, why does it feel different on one side? Maybe your body's trying to adjust in real time. That's okay. Brush it out. And in. Honestly, it is so cool that our nervous system does that, right? It's like, yeah, I love to problem solve. I'm going to strategize. It's just sometimes those strategies over time don't work as well for us, right? But let's brush. You guys look worried. Is it because you know where we're going? It's okay. You got this. Breaks are great. Now, the good news is also the same as the bad news, which is you might feel it a lot sooner on this side, okay? Couple more. Think about almost externally rotating a little. We're trying to stabilize on that frontal plane. Oh my gosh, I just did the mime move. All right, got 2. Last one. Hold it out, extend. Oh, I'm gonna tap mine down for a second. And then flex, bring it down, brush it out. Good, now, once again, if your hip bones move, we want them forward like little gunslingers, right? Good. And if we have to stabilize from our spine rather than our glute, try holding on to something, okay? This is my, yeah, you can touch, don't get crazy with the mirror, but you can touch it, yeah. So, good. 2 more, how's everybody feeling? Great? Good, phenomenal. I'm just gonna make up good adjectives. Okay, we can bring it forward, drag it back. I hear that. I hear you over there. Yeah, now what happens if it's really fatiguing out? Tap your toe down, right? It's okay. Bend your knee a little if you need to. Hold on to something. Take a second, right? A couple more. Good. Almost there, you guys, I promise. And of course, there, I mean, to another delightful destination. 2. Last 1. All right. You can either be here or here if you need more support. We're going to find that hip hinge. So we bend the knee. We hip hinge, right? Let the tail feathers spread wide. Hip bones still point down. Push into the foot. Bring it up. Yeah. As we hip hinge, there should be work here. Just watching. Think about filling your back line a little bit. Fold over your ribs a baby bit. There. Now, tail feathers wide, slide your hips back a fraction. Yeah. Is that better or, okay. Yes. Good. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like we're suction cupping the thigh bone in the socket. It's staying over the toes. Good. And then Tiana, you're just bringing your knee a little bit forward. Just think about your hips sliding back a little more. Is that a little baby bit more glute? No? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, it's just there. That looks great. Yeah. Good. 2 more like this. Good. Yeah, that looks good. Last 1. Hold it. And we slide it up. And slide it in. And push. And in. Now, if for any reason you're like, man, I really have trouble finding it on this side, see if your knee is pointing in a little or if your tailbone is pointing towards your same side. And if it is, no big deal, just aim your tailbone the opposite way, a fraction of a millimeter. Right? Good. How's this feeling for everybody? Amazing? Yeah. Maybe you have to typewriter your hips over, and if you don't quite have the like dynamic stability for it, maybe you put 1 finger on the wall. Maybe you put your whole hand on the wall. It's fine. Just a couple more. 3. Anybody not feeling the glutes yet? Okay. 2 more. Keeping a little bit of pressure through that big toe mound. Last 1. We're gonna hold it out. Now ignore that back foot. It just has to elevator you down, right? So you elevate her down, push into the front foot to bring you back up, okay? Yeah, now, if you're like, I can get here, but I can't go any lower. Is that okay? Yes, the answer is yes. No problem, right? So only go into a range that feels easy to control, feels good. And of course, now if you want, you can try to balance. Oh God, you can try to balance in that T. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Yes, Angel, that looked great. That down, yeah. Very much better positioning of the knee on this side. It looks good. Yeah. Good. So Kate, if you just spread, what did I say? Oh, yeah, yeah. Spread your toes a little wider. Yeah. That'll just give you a bigger base of support. Yeah. Beautiful, yes. Does that feel a little bit more stable? Yeah. Few more. Good. 2. Yeah. Sorry, Kelly. I was like, I knew it began with a K. I was just wasn't there yet. Yeah, you knew who I was talking to. Yeah. Yeah. Last one, and bring it all the way up. And you can give yourself a little figure 4 stretch if it feels appropriate. If it doesn't feel appropriate, you can just smack the hip out. Yeah, nice work. All right, so now we're going to come onto our knees for a second. And hopefully all of the glute activation we just found are going to help us. You guys ready? We're going to try to bring one knee forward. Yeah, and balance for a second. Yeah. And then exhale. Bring it back. Yeah. Now, a lot of you have like a really thin, squishy mat, which is fine, but maybe if your knees are like, I could really use a little support, fold your mat once or twice, or grab a little gardening pad. And just notice what your body's strategy is, right? So for example, on one side, my leg goes out and around. And then on the other side, my foot kind of goes out, my knee comes in, and it sneaks, right? So don't be like, why can't I do this right? There's no right. It's just what your body needs to do to get there. And once you observe without judgment what your body's strategy is, you can see about bringing it slightly more forward. Yeah, good. Now, if you're like, okay, this is pretty easy, hold it. And then bring it back. Yeah. Yeah, it's way harder than it should be. If you're in between, you can kind of press everything together, or will you roll yours over to me? Throw it. Yeah. Yeah. Or you can use a prop. Boom. Yeah. Right, this? No problem. Okay? Almost there. All right. Everything. Okay. Yeah, especially if you're balancing, it should be glute, should be inner thigh, should be abs, should be breath even. Now, you're going to hold, theoretically, and then we're going to press on up. Oh, we've just come to standing. And we're going to come down. Yeah. What are lunges good for, you guys? Getting up and down off the ground, right? Not the only thing, but also that, right? Good. Couple more. Now, if this frontal plane, you're like, this is too easy. I got this, no problem. You can take it to the transverse plane. So you take your foot up and around, and then you go to the side. Just make sure you've cleared any obstacles out of your path, right? So you're not like stepping on your weights. Yeah, yeah, you just, we'll talk through it. So face me. So go down first. Now, bring your knees together. Both of them down. Go, like this. Go. Now your right foot's gonna go to the right, and then you're gonna face the right. Yeah, and then you're gonna face forward. Yeah, and then you're gonna take that left foot to the left. You're gonna face the left, yeah. Yeah. Couple more. Good. Nice job, you guys. We're gonna come all the way up, press yourselves into your downward dog. We get to come all the way up to standing. And grab your weights, or if you're at home, your wine bottles. Good. So bring either your feet together, or if you'd like more of a balance challenge, one foot in front of the other. Good. We're just going to exhale and then slowly bring it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Good. And 4, 3, 2. Feel how your muscles have to work a little harder when we slow down the eccentric. If you're like, maybe, show me your guns, right? Show them. Yeah, you can either relax the muscle or make it flex, but we're trying to load that eccentric. Now, maybe you're like, okay, this balance part is real easy. Great, close your eyes. Yeah. Or one eye and then switch eyes, yeah? Good. And maybe you're like, this is still too easy. You can float a foot. Or baby tap, yeah. Couple more. And maybe if you're like, okay, well, floating a foot's easy, closing my eyes is too much. Look over one shoulder, yep. And then look over your other shoulder. And if you accidentally make eye contact with someone, smize at them, be friendly, right? Good. Good. Nancy, you're killing it, man. Do you feel how much better your balance is than it used to be? Yeah. Yeah, do it right. No. Last one. Good. Now, all we're going to do, tap the foot behind you, shoulder blades draw down. Now, straighten your arms, push your knuckles down and slightly behind you. That's it. Feel the back of your arms. We're not going far. Everybody feel this tricep starting to talk a little? Great. Now, keep your upper arm bones right where they are. Just let the elbows bend. Reach them down and back, hold. Good. Few more. So we're trying to find one long line from the crown of our head to our toe and from the crown of our head to our knuckles, right? So it's less about the arms going really far back. Yeah. Nice. And of course, if you're like, oh, you know what, I wish we were doing more glute work, you can always balance. But I'm going to keep my toe down today. Good. Yeah. 3. 2 more. Last one, hold. Just hold for 4, 3, 2. Now keep everything still except your elbows. Shoulder blades draw down. Think about the bottom tips of them tucking and gently kissing together. And that's where we're going. Let the arms come forward, elbows press down. Feel mid back a little baby bit. Now, if we're just squeezing the rhomboids together, see what happens at my shoulder, right? So we're trying to find lower trap, mid trap, widening through your collarbones as if you're taking off a big jacket. Yeah. Monica, you're doing a great job of keeping your shoulders out of your ears. You're trying to force them down with your pec minor. Relax a little. Yeah. Think about widening. Oh, relax. Yeah. Now just let your arms dangle. Just move your collarbones towards me slightly like this. Yeah. And then let your shoulders move a little more. Yeah. Perfect. Good. It's less scaling. Good. Last one. Nice job. We're coming back to biceps. Other side. Yeah. Nobody's excited? But guess what we get to do? We're actually going to challenge our balance a little bit more, and that we're going to do alternating. Good. Stephanie, the fact that you went like this, I thought you were just really going to get into En Vogue. I was like, yes. Good. Now, of course, if you want, you can close your eyes. It's going to be harder with the arms moving in opposition, okay? So just be aware. Relax your shoulders for me a little bit, Gordon. Yeah, good. Nice. Couple more. If you're like, I'm not closing my eyes like this, you can always turn your head, right? You can always try balancing on that one foot. Don't grip your weight so tight that your blood pressure rises, right? It's not that kind of class. Make sure you're breathing. Good. I don't know what it is about this alternating, but it looks like all of you want to like just kiss your guns. And I'm all about that. So, you know, if you do, no judgment. Couple more. Almost there. Yeah. Why are you apologizing? No apologies. Last one. All right, elbows down. You can extend your knuckles down and back, hold. Did I hear some sighs? We're almost there, don't worry, you guys. Reach it down and back. Yeah, Monica, you can also do this without any weights. I think 7s are fine for you. For at least a few, and then you can switch to 3s. Yeah. We're only doing a few. 4 more. 3 more. Widening through those collarbones. You can always come into that T position. That is not for my body today, so I'm going to not do it. We're going to hold for 4. Hold it back, squeeze the triceps. 3, 2. Upper arm bone stay still. We bend at the elbow, shoulder blades draw in a tucked position, and then we reach forward, drag it back. Good. Think about the elbows pressing down. Hey, Joni, that looks good. Hold there though. Think about your elbows pressing down and out to the side a little. Yes. Good. Beautiful. Nice job. We have 4. Good. We're almost there, I promise. 3 more. 2. Still trying to find mid and lower trap. Last one, last one. We get to come all the way to the ground, you guys. It's ab time. Yay. All right. So if you have, just so you guys know, I'm still going to be watching you in the mirror. It's a little harder to see. So if you're like, I can't feel this, let me know. I'm happy to help. That's why I'm here. First, we're going to take the ball and place it kind of in between our shoulder blades. Let your head be supported in your hand. It's like a hammock. And just let yourself get a gentle extension over the ball. It doesn't have to be huge. Now, in order to curl forward, think about the bottom parts of your ribs gently coming towards your belly button. Pull your belly button through your spine, roll the ball back, and look forward through your knees. Good. And slowly extend. Now, once we do 1 or 2, check out how it feels in your body, right? Maybe you want to be closer to the ball, right? Maybe you want to be farther away. Elbows slightly forward in your periphery. Good. So you can use your serratus as well. Yeah. Good. So Lindsay, that looks great. But if you interlace your hands and let your elbows just stay slightly forward, even more forward. Yeah. Then you can find these muscles a little faster too. Yeah. Yeah, and then your head's nice and supported. Yeah. Couple more. Good. Yeah. Good. So Kelly, if you also want to interlace and bring your elbows forward a little. Yeah. And then Kiana, I want you to curl your collarbones towards me a little bit more so you're almost coming off the ball a little. Yeah, scoot away from the ball a fraction of an inch. Yeah, good, yeah. Nice. And Tiana, you can curl a little bit higher towards me. Yeah, there you go. Nice job. Now, we're gonna hold this one up. Hold. Hands forward, push them into an imaginary surface. Yeah, and then we lift, 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 interlace, and slowly extend. Good. Couple more. Curl forward. Hands come forward. Yeah. Nod your chin a little bit, Monica. Yeah, good. Up, interlace. Beautiful. Couple more. Good. Gordon, I think I want you closer to the ball. Just a little. Yeah, roll your body back. A little bit more. There. Now I want to see your curl. Yeah. Good. Curling forward, forward, forward. Yes, there you go. Is that more exciting? Yeah. Good. Good. Couple more. Good. Nice. Last one like this. Hands up, interlace them, and hold your height. Now, if you need to, you come into that extension. Otherwise, we're just going to widen through the elbows and then bring it back. Yeah. Stephanie, you can lift higher. There we go. You can get closer to the ball if you need to. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. So how's that feel every time you start to take your elbows out? A little bit harder? Yeah. No? Okay, so you can curl up a little higher too. Yeah. Good. Angel, I think you can curl up a little higher too. Beautiful. Just like that. Good. 2. Last one. Bring your hands forward. And now rotating from your rib cage, we're just going to high five ourselves. Yeah, and then back and high five yourself. Trying to keep your hips and knees still. Hey, what happens if this doesn't feel okay in your low back? Get rid of the ball, right? No problem. What happens if it doesn't feel great in your neck? You can always bring your neck down onto the ball, okay? So feel like you can listen to your body and advocate, okay? Have a couple more. Using your breath, rotating from the ribs, good. Curl a little higher. Nice, hands come back behind your head, extend over the prop. Now, as we curl back up, we're going to rotate to one side, pushing the opposite foot into the ground. So push your right foot into the ground, curl, float your left knees, rotate to the left. Slowly lower, push your left foot into the ground, curl, rotate to the right. Good. Now, if you can, depending on your proportions, see about getting that elbow to knee and pushing into each other. If you're like, that does not work for my body, don't do it, right? So if you're like, well, the push feels okay, but the range doesn't, you can always use your hand. Good. And feel free to start playing with the placement of the prop if where it is now doesn't feel ideal, right? You can try moving it up or down. Good. And whether you're using your elbow or your hand, hold the pressure, right? You're matching the force. You're pushing into your leg with your hand and you're pushing into your hand with your leg. It's like one of those moms who like stops a bus, right? You're matching the force of that bus. Good. Couple more. How are everybody's abs feeling? Good? Yeah. I know. Nancy, are you feeling okay? Good. We're gonna hold it up this time. Rotate to one side. Now, keep your rotation We're going to slowly extend, maintaining that rotation, and then maintain the rotation, come back up. Yeah, maintain the rotation. Yeah, hips stay on the ground the whole time. Once again, if you need to get rid of the prop, it's okay. 2 more. Last one. Hold the rotation, rotate to your other side, and extend. Now this side might feel easier than the other. It might feel more exciting. Keeping the rotation. Nancy, were you rotating back and forth each time? Keep doing it, because you were just doing it, so it's fine. 2 more. Last one. Curl up, rotate up and over. Extend over the ball. Keep the rotation, curl up, come up and over, other side. So if you've ever done just like chest lift with rotation, it's kind of the same idea, except we're coming down in between and we're going into a bigger extension. So if the bigger extension doesn't feel good, get rid of the prop. Okay? Otherwise, we have just a couple more. 2. Keep it slow on the way down. Good. Last set. And extend and relax. As you breathe, try to expand your diaphragm a little bit. Expand your low abs. And then curl forward, hands come forward. We get to roll up. Bring the prop in between your knees. Hands kind of suction cup to the back of your thighs, shoulder blades melted. And we're gonna roll back, squeeze the prop until maybe your arms straighten. Yep, think about the armpits kicking on. Yeah, beautiful. We take one arm out to the side. Stabilizing on that frontal plane. Did we already do these, Nancy? Are you sure? Oh. I thought they were your favorites. Good. Good. And so what we're trying to do is counter rotation, right? Yeah. And I personally like to use my hands to draw down so my lats can help me. But if that's like not feeling great in your neck, don't do it. You can also push down into your knees if you want more ab work. But only if you want more ab work, right? Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe I want more today. Good. Last set. Then we get to add on, unless you need a break, in which case take a break. But we have like 2 more minutes of class left. So we're gonna hold and then flip the palm up. Look at it as we rotate. Yeah. So counter rotation first, and then we add rotation. This is why we were asking Nancy if she was okay, because she was very quiet today. A couple more. Good. 2. Once again, don't go into a range that feels bad. You can always, but it's gonna feel so good after, right? The best part of class is when we're done, right? Yeah. And then come back to center. We're gonna take the prop, set it to the side, extend our legs for some roll-ups. So if there's a prop you like for roll-ups, feel free to grab it. And if you're like, I don't know what roll-ups are, welcome. Bring your fingertips forward. Now imagine your ribs lifting up and back like someone you like is giving you a hug. And then you're just gonna slowly roll down. Just keep it as slow as you can, as if we were about to play red light, green light, but maybe we won't today. Try to stabilize the weight of your arms as they go overhead, like you have weights in your hands. And then you lift your chest and try to peel your spine up, rolling up. Good. That looked great, but I think I want you to bend your knees a fraction of an inch on your way up. And I think it'll give you more space to roll. Yeah. Good. Good. Lisa, you got this. Use your breath. Yeah. Yeah. That was awesome. Good. Now, if you're like, I get stuck, guess what? We have options, right? Yeah, that looks so much easier, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So if you feel like you're about to get stuck, maybe try bending your knees a little. So if your hip flexors are tight, you just have a little bit more space. Or think about imprinting your spine on the way up. Or just really think about your exhale. Good. Good. Good, Kelly. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't hold your breath, it'll be easier. Yeah, you got this. You started with the exhale and then, so yeah. Last set. Last one, best one, you guys. Yeah. Yeah, I know, it's funny how that works. All right, we're gonna come all the way up. Bring your feet together, knees apart, and just relax over your hips for a second. And then go ahead, we're coming on to hands and knees one last time. It's not gonna be the worst thing ever, I promise you guys. This should actually be kind of nice. You're gonna get a little bit of relaxing rotation. So if you're at home and you don't have a ball, you can just reach your arm. And in fact, if that's where you are today, no problem. I personally need the prop for a smoother rotation. So I like to bring my hand to the ball underneath the other hand. So yeah, there you go. And then have it the blade of your hand, gorgeous. And then just bend your elbow as you reach the ball away, and then push into the floor to come back. And reach and rotate, good. And rotate back. Yeah, 2 more. Good. Nice. Last one, and we get to switch hands. Maybe, there we go. And we reach and back. Couple more. This should feel pretty easy, pretty gentle. We're trying to rotate our rib cage around our spine. And 2. Last one. Come all the way to standing. And we're just gonna finish with the teeniest bit more balance work. But this time we're gonna change it up. We're gonna mostly use our ocular and vestibular systems. Did you almost just fall? You drunk. So you can bring one foot in front of the other. If that's too intense, bring them a little closer. And if it's not intense enough, you can always lift a foot. Bring one finger in front of your face. Now imagine that you're having a staring contest with that finger and you want to win, okay? So keep your head still. Head doesn't move. But you're going to keep staring at the finger. You're going to track it as it goes across. And then you're going to track it as it goes across. Yeah, it's more exciting than it seems like it should be, right? Now, if you're like, man, I can't. I feel too much noise in my ankles and feet. Those are just your proprioceptors figuring out what they are. You can always kind of like stimulate them. You can also stimulate the proprioceptors in your neck. Posture is a big component of balance, as is our visual system. Last one. And then we just get to switch sides, switch fingers. Yeah. Now this time, we're going to use our inner ear system, okay? You guys ready? We're still going to like make eye contact. And now keep making eye contact. Don't move your finger, move your head. I'm giving it the side eye, right? We've all been walking and seen somebody that we're like, give them the side eye. Now it's your finger, right? Maybe you can turn your head pretty far, maybe you can't. That's okay. Couple more. And MC Hammer is like so stoked about this for us. Last one. Good. Go ahead, bring your feet together, flip your palms to the sky, open your heart. And relax down. Give yourselves a round of applause. Nice work today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You're all amazing. Yeah. And of course, if you can do the MC Hammer dance, we can turn it up. Yeah. Marie, thank you for joining us. How'd everything feel? How'd everything feel, you guys? Good. Yeah, killing it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Now, so just so you know, because I saw you looking, there are yeah, there are more spray bottles and rags, so we do try to like spray everything down and stuff. Yeah, cool. John, cool. How'd everything feel? Yeah, you did great. Yeah, it wasn't just like, uh-oh. No, it's like, yeah, he's killing it. Yeah, it's a little different. Great. Yeah.